You are standing in a hotel parking lot on a crisp Texas morning. You see a sleek car approaching, moving faster than it should. You hear the screech of tires, the sudden impact, the screams. This is not a movie. This is a real moment that changed lives forever. Before we continue, remember, subscribe to our channel to expose real crimes and understand how violence destroys lives. Clara had built her life carefully. A respected dentist, a successful professional, a woman who seemed to have it all. But beneath the polished veneer of her life, there were cracks. Her marriage, which should have been a sanctuary, had begun to crumble. The husband she trusted had been hiding a secret, an extramarital affair. The affair wasn't whispered rumors or fleeting suspicions. Clara discovered the truth herself. It was tangible, undeniable, and crushing. She confronted the betrayal privately, but the humiliation and anger simmered. This was a woman trained to be precise, exacting, meticulous. Traits that had served her well in her professional life. But human emotion is never precise. The rage, the shock, the betrayal, they were all overwhelming. On the morning of the incident, Clara drove her car with a controlled focus. But this time, her mind was elsewhere, replaying the betrayal, the lies, the humiliation. She arrived at the hotel where her husband was rumored to meet his lover. From the parking lot, she could see him approaching the car. Heart pounding, her emotions boiled over. What happened next was captured on security cameras. The car accelerated, and within seconds, a tragedy unfolded. The husband was struck and fatally injured. The scene was chaotic. Witnesses shocked. Emergency services called immediately. Clara was arrested on the spot, her professional life and personal freedom hanging by a thread. The case quickly made national headlines. Here was a woman from a seemingly perfect background, a dentist, well-respected, living in the suburbs, now accused of murdering her spouse. Media outlets painted a sensational portrait: crime of passion, betrayal, revenge. Law enforcement gathered evidence. Security footage of the impact. Witness testimonies describing the car's acceleration. Clara's own statements about discovering the affair. The prosecution built a case around intent and premeditation. Did the act happen in a moment of uncontrollable rage, or was it planned? This question became central to the trial. Meanwhile, the defense emphasized the emotional and psychological state of Clara at the time. Experts testified about intense emotional trauma caused by betrayal, a human reaction to the extremity of the situation. News coverage didn't just stick to facts. Tabloids and talk shows dissected every aspect. The perfect life shattered by infidelity. The shocking method of revenge. The moral question: can betrayal justify violence? Millions of Americans tuned in, some expressing sympathy, others horror. The story struck a chord because it was relatable at a human level. People understand betrayal. People imagine what they might feel if someone they loved and trusted violated that trust. But not everyone imagines acting on that rage in the same way. During the trial, the courtroom became a stage for every human emotion. Clara appeared composed, yet visibly shaken. Witnesses recounted the shocking morning. Experts described the psychological trauma induced by infidelity. After weeks of testimony, the jury faced a challenging decision. They had to consider intent versus impulsive rage, emotional trauma versus cold-blooded action. The line between justice and empathy was blurred. Eventually, the court convicted Clara of murder, acknowledging the complexity of her emotional state, but affirming that taking a life could not go unpunished. The incident sent ripples far beyond the individuals involved. Clara's career ended, her dental license revoked. The family and friends of both parties struggled to process the event. The community grappled with understanding how a normal life could explode into tragedy. Psychologists and commentators highlighted a stark reality. Betrayal can provoke extreme reactions, but violence never resolves pain. It only multiplies suffering. Human emotions are powerful, but no betrayal justifies murder. Violence destroys families, careers, and communities. We tell these stories not for shock, but for understanding, so that viewers can reflect, learn, and avoid similar tragedies in their own lives.